We are now streaming on Facebook. Hi, Facebook, everybody. Welcome to our Networking at Noon. Today, I am joined by Eric Bunch. Eric, say hi to everybody.
Hey, everyone.
And I see you've got some new background. I want to say, like, what do you call? I'm trying to think. Accessories. Do you call them accessories? New background accessories?
Well, I was trying to get away from the virtual background. So this is all very real. So I've been working on my background, and I'm gradually adding things to it. So the cameras, let me see if I can do this correct. The cameras are something new that I just added yesterday, and I've got a couple of others I'm going to add.
Now, why would cameras matter? Like, why is that a great backdrop for you?
Well, I mean, really, it's a lot to do with what I do on a regular basis. So the one over here, that's a video camera. That's an old video camera. So it just kind of shows the history of video and photography. And then that relates to what I do now as a videographer and photographer.
So what kind of things do you like to video and photograph?
So when I got started, I went kind of all over the map. I did a little bit of everything, and I'm narrowing in the branding and marketing. That's what I really like to do the most, because it's different all the time and is different with each person, how someone wants to be branded and what kind of marketing material they want is going to be different. Whether I work with a hairstylist, a speaker, maybe it's a coach, maybe I work with someone who sells jewelry, a baker. Every day is different, and that's what I like.
So what do you, when you say branding, like what kind of branding and marketing videos are you talking about? Like what would that look like to the average person watching this if they're like, I don't know what he means?
Yeah, so I started getting into branding several years ago because I was recognizing that a lot of the material that people use on social media, website, we're used to seeing like the same headshot, universally across everything. And I was recognizing, gosh, we need to do other pictures. Like if someone wants to be the best realtor on Bayshore, well, then let's go and have Bayshore in the picture and in the material. So I came up with the branding session, and it's more than just a headshot. So it gives that person multiple pictures that they can use universally across all their different platforms, whether it's an email, maybe it's a website, maybe it's a YouTube channel, maybe it's LinkedIn. And so that's what the branding provides is just all kinds of different content that they can use on all these platforms. And it's not just the same speaking in front of one place or a headshot in front of a white backdrop or a black backdrop. It's more than that.
So now, I mean, I would guess some people would argue, hey, I want to use the same headshot on everything because it helps me be recognizable. What would be your argument to them for let's use a couple different headshots or a couple different images?
What I would tell them is that is true. You need a consistent look, but it also is going to look dated, and it doesn't match with today's media and today's marketing. Today's marketing, you're seeing people use a variety of pictures for all different purposes. Maybe I'm going to go back to realtor because that's a pretty easy example. But someone sells a house. They're doing a post with, in the bottom corner, they've got a different picture showing that they're maybe holding a for sale sign or holding a sold sign. So that's what I would tell them is as that's good for that consistent look, it's going to look dated, and it's going to look like you're not updating things too.
And I mean, I don't know what it is about realtors that they seem to always have the super outdated. Why do realtors have super outdated headshots? I don't know. And they're not the only profession.
I'm going to get realtors like reaching out to me like, why are you referencing me? But I always ask them.
I said it, not you.
I always ask them that. I'm like, hey, we can get you an updated headshot. And this is the response I've gotten the most. They say, well, this is when I've looked my best. And so I tell them, I'm like, well, I'm happy for you. But when you're out and about, that's the person that they're looking for. And because it was 10 or 15 or even some of them were 20 years ago, I'm like, they're not going to recognize you. So I get that you're not comfortable with the aging process, but no one's going to know how to find you because they can't recognize you.
I was doing a Zoom, I think it was just yesterday, at least some point in time this week. And it was somebody I hadn't met yet. So their picture was up before the video showed up. And then the video showed up and I'm like, is this two different people? Because they didn't look anything alike. So, what happens if I shoot video today and then in 6 months I lose some weight? What am I going to do then? Do I have to reshoot the video or?
Well, it's a difficult conversation because whether you make that, investment to do it all over, but really the material, headshots, video, I mean, really it's got like a 2-year shelf life, if you will. That's what I operate off of. I tell everyone, you should get your headshot updated. Probably every 2 years would be the most that you want to wait before even the hairstyle, the everything, it'll be obvious. But I mean, yeah, unfortunately, you might have to redo that if there's some significant change, but you want to be doing that anyways to update your style and fit with today's marketing.
Gotcha. So when it comes to these marketing videos, what are some industries that you love to work with to create these videos? And I know it's not limited to one, but what are some of your favorites?
So some of my favorites are transportation industries, cars, boats, planes are some of the big ones that I've worked with.
Like the dealerships or like the bus line? How does that work?
Gosh, I mean, I've worked with automotive dealerships, that want to showcase what they're doing differently than all the others. I've worked with aircraft, not manufacturers, but they repair and modify aircrafts. And I've even worked with some attorneys in transportation industries where they might handle all of the legal things that go along with owning an airplane or all the tax work. And so the transportation industry has been one of the ones I really like because you get to see all these really cool things and you get to see behind the scenes, be able to walk under a big 200 person capacity airplane and see the underside of it, see how the landing gear folds in has been really cool.
Now, do your boys like watching that kind of footage?
They do. They don't believe that I did it though. When they see it, they're like, "You weren't there and did that. There's no way." So I have to kind of show them sometimes like a selfie showing, "Hey, look what I did today."
Now, tell us a little bit about, I mean, you don't have to go into too much details, but I mentioned your boys. Can you tell us about your kids?
Yeah, so I've got 3 boys, and I often refer to them as when someone's like, "Oh, you've got children," I'm like, "I've got 3 rambunctious boys," is the way I describe them, because it's very loud, it's very chaotic, but it's entertaining, and people think I'm crazy for this. I don't even think I've told you this. I can normally spend about like an hour in the evening time when they're supposed to be here. Maybe my wife takes them out to do something. I can spend about an hour before I start getting anxious of all the silence. I start walking around like looking like where are they? Like this is weird. But yeah, I've got 3 boys, Wyatt, Spencer, and Parker. They're all pretty close in age, 10, 8, and 7. So it's kind of like a little hurricane of child. But we do a lot of outdoor activities. We try to do things together as much as possible. We're trying to get more into camping. We do a lot of scouting. So I actually volunteer.
I was gonna say, you're really active in the Boy Scouts, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm assistant cub master of our pack through our school. So I do a lot of the organizing with the campouts and activities. And then I just took a position with the Greater Tampa Bay Area Council as one of the subcommittee members with the communications committee. So I help out with just getting all the information out to the members of the council. Like that would be anyone that's in scouting, but then we're also trying to show the general public what scouting is doing in general.
Gotcha. So I know you're very active in scouting, but you've got another thing that you do, and I don't know if I would call it your spare time, but another cause that's near and dear to your heart. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the other one that I spend as much time as I can is with the fire department, specifically the Tampa Firefighters Museum. My brother was a fireman. He was a driver engineer with Tampa Fire Rescue. And after his passing years ago, we wanted to give back to the department and just try to better their lives and just educate the public on really what the firefighters go through, on a regular basis, and how we can improve their life and their safety. So we started the Matthew T. Bunch Foundation, and right now we're not able to do the normal events that we would, but we normally do the annual Matthew T. Bunch Foundation event where we've done like a Mexican cook-off. And lately, the big event has been dodgeball. So we've set up a dodgeball tournament, and it's been a super fun event. We've had local bands come in and play. We've had performers. We had a street performer one year, and then
Wow.
we do dodgeball where some of them get way into. Had a couple of hospital visits after. Some of them went way too serious with this. There might have been a broken wrist before, but I spend my time on the board with the Tampa Firefighters Museum. Once again, in the marketing and branding, I'm in charge of any of the digital content. So I work with the web designer, and then I run all the social media for the museum.
Gotcha. So why is it photography and videography? What really drives you? What inspires you about what you do?
What drives me is once we lost my brother, my world was kind of turned upside down, and what I realized that I'm able to do with photography and video is I'm able to help someone to cherish those memories and to leave their legacy. Just like behind you, you've got a book right there. Having that will outlast you, and it's something that we can leave behind, and it's really our legacy. So I'm able to do that with my clients, whether it's a picture or a video. They don't realize that will outlive us long from now. It'll be around, and so that's what I do is I can help them to leave that legacy, as where just doing a simple family portrait shoot or a headshot might not sound like much, but you think about the what it could do. It could be on a book, it can be out in a newsletter, it could be printed in a magazine. It can go a lot of different areas, and that's what I like doing is being the one that can help capture someone at their best and something they're proud of and they're willing to share.
Yeah, it's interesting. My mom, for years, she never wanted to do family photos because she wasn't at the weight she wanted. And she passed away, and we didn't have family photos for
Oh,
years. And it's one of those things I look back and I'm like, we didn't care what weight she was at. We just wish, we would have had something. So anytime somebody's like, I don't want to be in pictures, I'm like, just get over it. They're not for you. They're for other people.
I know,
But
that's what I
I
tell
totally
everyone.
get
and
it.
and I always tell them, all the family, because I've done big like reunion like family portraits before with 30 people, and I just kind of laugh at how frustrated some are, and I always tell them, I'm like, look, a year from now, you're not going to remember this frustration. You're just going to be glad you did it. So suck it up and smile for one picture, like.
So let me ask you, if there's a marketing not a marketing professional, sorry, an entrepreneur, a business owner, a professional out there that's thinking, okay, yeah, I know I need photo, or I need to be on video, but I don't like the way I look on video. What do you say to them to be like, this is why you really need to do this for your business?
I've talked to a lot of people, and at some point, the fear and the nerves have gotten the better of them. If it's so extreme that they do not want to be on video, then that's fine. Then we can get a spokesperson for your business. Maybe you've got an employee, maybe you've got an assistant, maybe there's a partner, maybe there's a child that's involved. Like, there's someone that could represent you and represent you very well. So I've got some people that are a little bit more behind the scenes as far as the business professional, that we have someone that will step in and represent them. And then you could always hire someone like that as well, that could basically represent you. But most of the time, after talking to them here and there, they'll eventually get over it. It may take a while to share the first several videos, but once they get it out there, people, that the viewers are going to see them at their best, even though they think, wow, this is rock bottom, I've never looked worse. But if they could just get over that and share that, I'm telling you, because I see it time and time again, that they will get feedback. They'll go, wow, I'm blown away with how great you look, how professional you are, and how smart you are. Even though they think, wow, this was the worst thing I've ever done, how you at your worst, people are going to see you at your best. And so once they go over that hurdle, you can only go up from there.
Well, and I've heard, I'm a huge nerd, that y'all may know that. And I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard William Shatner's never actually watched an episode of Star Trek, at least not the series that he was on, because he hates seeing himself on video. Now, he doesn't strike me as the type that wouldn't like to see himself on video.
Yeah, I kind of think the opposite. Like,
That would be my thought, but I've heard said rumor.
well, someone told me that a lot of actors don't even watch their own movies, and I just started thinking about that. I went, I mean, it's very possible. It makes sense, but you just got to do it, and you just got to put yourself out there. Because I'm telling you, if anyone's watching this that is nervous about doing video for their business or for whatever you're doing today, I'm telling you, just get over the nerves and just try it, because you'll get positive feedback. I guarantee. No one's going to call you, go, wow, you really sucked at that. They're going to give you a lot of positive feedback on it, because they're probably nervous about doing that themselves. And you
Yeah.
just help them to get over that.
Cool. Now, in addition to all of everything you've shared, you are a member of our Asentiv Referrals for Life community. Could you share with us what do you love about being part of the Asentiv Referrals for Life community? Why are you a part of it still?
There's so many things that I really like about it, and really the coaching that I get from you one-on-one is valuable in itself. But then I've got access to all the other members of Referrals for Life and all the advice that we provide each other. And really, it's something that might just be really minor and minute that we say on these calls that we're doing every month. But gosh, I mean, I'm sure everyone can say that one little thing that we came up with from a conversation had a huge effect on our daily life. And we're talking about things in a personal manner, professional manner, networking manner. So it's more than just growing your business. It's growing personally as well.
Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, I know you took the Ignite Your Business program, for the first time in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the 2019, you had seen a little bit of growth in your business, right? I want to say it was 8 or 10%, maybe.
Yeah, it was from, I took it January of 2019. And there was, I mean, like most people, like I could sit here and implement all these things, but I implemented as much as I possibly could, and it definitely had an increase. But the bigger number, and I don't know if you're getting ready to share that.
Go ahead.
Is that, all right, as I grew by only 8% or so, I was working, I can't remember the number that I sent to you, but I was working significantly less. And that's what I wanted, was to spend more time with my kids and to work less. And that's what allowed me to do that, was the Ignite Your Business.
And then I know October was a good month. I mean, most photographers, COVID right now, they're like, oh, people don't want to be around this, that, or the other. And you celebrated what this past October?
Oh my gosh, we had our best month ever in 5.5 years. And it wasn't by a little bit. We destroyed our best month by like, I think it was like 25% or something. And that was in the middle of October, and we still had business coming in that I just didn't even have the time to go and send out the invoices for. So we probably could have even been higher than that. It just there wasn't enough hours in the day.
What a great problem to have when so many other people are barely making it through.
It is.
So it seems like you have a new endeavor coming, something that you're starting to do. You want to tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll wrap up?
Yeah. So the new things that I've got kind of brewing right now is more of the coaching side, and coaching for other photographers and videographers that want to go full time and to step into that. I've known people in the photography industry for years and years that have worked 20 plus years, and they really want to take the next step and to support themselves and their family full time. I I made that leap, and while it was a difficult one, there were a lot of low moments, but I managed to do it and to be successful at it now. We're continuing to grow each year. And so I'm going to be starting to put together a lot of these videos and material and training programs about people to make a living in the photography and video industry and really be an entrepreneur.
Awesome. Very exciting. So the last question I have, this is left over from our brewing up business days. What is one of your favorite brews?
Yeah, you had asked me this. I'm a fairly I like beer. I put beer as probably the top one, but I'm a fairly boring beer drinker. Like I need your husband to kind of help me out there because every time he asks me what do you normally drink, and I'm like I'm not going to answer that because it's pretty boring. So Rob can help me to be a more interesting beer drinker.
And he likes to do that. He's always happy to give some recommendations. So I did just notice Matt on from Facebook. He said, learning how to be much more specific from this program helped me get to a point of hiring help. So he just commented and let us know that he is watching on Facebook.
That's
But
awesome.
that's what we have today. So thank you so very much, Eric, for being here in the beginning, the early stages of our networking at noon. We're super excited to have you with us. If people are looking to hire you, if they want to connect with you, how can they do so?
The easiest way is you can find me on social media at NTP2 Photography on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and you'll probably see me there. Send me a friend request. I love connecting with new people as well.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, Eric. And bye to everybody.
Thank you.